For those of you listening on the pod,
welcome into hour 2. Let's get into it, boys. PFF grades. And let's start off with the team grades real quick and kind of see how they fared. And again, always going to give this disclaimer. I know people are tired of hearing it, but I'm always going to do it. These are PFF grades. It doesn't mean it's the gospel. I like looking at PFF grades. I like looking at the NFL Pro data. I like watching the tape and kind of take everything and throw it in the pot, and it gives you the real story on what happened each and every Sunday. So the Packers' overall grade, a 71.0. Offense got a 60.3. The defense got a 72.4. I think that kind of catches people off guard a little bit. You would think the defense played really bad, right? But
based on the nonsense you heard from talking heads, you would believe that.
Exactly. So passing grade 58.4, pass blocking 81.9, receiving grade of 63.1, running grade of 63.6, run blocking grade of 45.9. On defense, run defense grade 76.4, tackle grade of 73.9, pass rush grade of 73.8, coverage grade of 64.6, special teams grade of 63.9. Boy, you ain't heard much about Fire Rich Bisaccia here lately, have
we? No, we really haven't. And if we have heard anything, we try to let it go in one ear and out the other, right? Because we know the truth. We know what Rich is doing, and it's so much more than just special teams, right? What he brings to the organization and the value and leadership that he brings. And honestly, I think these past couple of games we're starting to turn the corner when it comes to teams, right? You know, we see a 45-5, 38-5 prior. The last 2 weeks we've been well above 60, and we'll take that all day. So you got to give credit when credit's due. You can't just bash the guy whenever we struggle. You know, you've got to call it like you see it. And you know, I will say this with PFF, special teams grades usually seem to be pretty much on par with what we've seen out on the field. We can question some of these other breakdowns sometimes, but the special teams grade is kind of cut and dry. And the tail is in the tape. You know, good start. We kind of plateaued, and now we're getting back on track here, grading above 60s, which I've always said special teams, when you have the talent pool that we have, you're going to have starters out there playing special teams. You've got a stacked roster with a lot of young talent, and I don't care if we're not a top 10 or top 15 special teams unit as long as we're not a dumpster fire, and that's what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, I love what Drew D says too, Tim. Look how the pass blocking is getting better every week. Like when you look at the pass blocking, 65, 70, 15, 67, 78, 81. So it's improved 3 weeks in a row now.
Yep.
That's a great sign. Also, the run defense grade has been pretty solid here lately too. A 79, then a 76 yesterday. Same thing with the tackle grade. Tackle grade has gone up 3 weeks in a row as well. Looks like
we had another good game out of Jordan Morgan again. Be interesting to see what PFF had him at. He looked pretty good out there yesterday.
Let's dive into it, man. Let's see if we can figure out who were the top graded Green Bay Packers in this matchup against the Arizona Cardinals. Trying to get it here zoomed in as much as I can for you guys and gals. So at the top of the list, Tim, even though he's still battling that oblique injury, 74.3 for Zach Tom. All right. You had Rasheed Walker at a 72.1, Josh Jacobs at a 71.2, Matthew Golden, boys and girls, 67.1. Let's go. Romeo Dobbs, 65.8. Aaron Banks had a pretty good day, 65.5. Pass blocking grade of 83.9. Wow. Tucker Kraft, 65.1. So he's looking pretty solid there, 70.4 in the passing game. It was his run blocking that really dinged his grade quite a bit there at a 46.2. Emmanuel Wilson, 60.7. Chris Brooks, 58.2. Elton Jenkins, 55.1. So that's kind of the tough thing to see there. What's wild is the Jordan Love stuff, right? He got graded a 53.5.
Whatever.
I'm looking at that going, I'm trying to think, what was his worst pass of the day? I can't think of, there's not one that sticks out to me, you know? Like you could find one the previous game where he was graded much higher, and you got the interception as a boneheaded throw right there, right? Yep. So that's just pretty wild to me that he graded out a 53.5. Based off what I've seen, I would definitely disagree with that grade. Again, I thought he played pretty good football. I thought he played the offense, the hand he was dealt, and did pretty well. So, Go ahead, Jake.
Nothing. You know what kind of pops off the page to me is Jordan Morgan way down there at 17th with a total overall of 34.8. But look at the pass blocking grade.
That's why I thought he would have graded out better. I felt like he looked really good in the pass.
And I've heard Ryan. I've listened to Ryan for years now. Gosh, almost 8 years, I think. And as much as he loves PFF, he will call them out when he's like, how does this, if you get a 76.7, average it out with, even if the run blocking is 27.3, like that to me, that's not a happy medium. The math don't meet. Yeah, the math don't math there, buddy. And that's just,
I like what Drew D's saying though. Oh, it's the 2 fumbles, but even though we lost neither of them, right?
Right.
We had a Jordan took a shot and was able to recover his own fumble. I don't understand why that would knock him that low on his PFF grade.
Yeah. Chester Marco in the chat. Our Chester Marco, not the Chester Marco. I think he's still in the clink list.
Do a little tooting.
Jenkins looked gassed out there last night, he said. Did you guys feel like that? I didn't really pay much attention to Elton Jenkins. I do know this. He doesn't look – it looks like his best football is behind him, and it's kind of looked like that the last couple of years to me. And I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But did y'all feel like he looked a little gassed last night or not?
Yeah, a little bit.
I think it's fair to say that. And
I think the grade on him is probably fair. But again, 71.3 in the pass pro, that's what we need out of Big E.
J. Cole 249 says, remember, these are Uber drivers grading players. Great point. All right, let's look at them on the season real quick, okay? So you got Zach Tom, right, on the year. So his grade so far, 65, 60, 65, 60, 75, and 74. So his grade now on the season is showing a 76 currently. So throughout his career, Zach Tom, 68, 79, 85, 76. Keep in mind he's battling the oblique injury right now. So I thought that was very, very encouraging seeing him grade out of 74.3, just pretty solid across the board. Rasheed Walker got a 72.1. He did have a penalty there. So when you look at him on the season, this, according to PFF, that was his best game of the year, boys. 63, 69, 34, 64, 68, 72. So maybe he's turning the corner now and getting back up there where he should be, which last year he graded out of 68.7. This makes a lot of sense as to why they haven't given him a contract extension, right? It's just one of those things. He's going to get overpaid on the market, right, Tim? Like he's going to hit free agency and get paid a ton of money, and that's money that I don't think the Packers are willing to pay him, at least at this point.
And I think it speaks to why we're seeing the numbers and the increase in output that we're seeing, because he knows Jordan Morgan's breathing down his neck for that left tackle spot. And, we're not going to knock Sheed. He's going to give us the best he can while he's here. But I would agree with you. It's just, at this point, I think we're looking for a little bit more consistency there, especially if we're talking long-term plan, protecting QB1's blind side. So I think the writing's kind of on the wall, but I wouldn't put it past Rasheed Walker to make it real difficult on the Packers brass to make a decision here when it comes to his output on the field this season. There's a lot of football left, so we'll see.
If we were to try to find the positive here on Rasheed Walker, Jacob, I like what Debfish says. Walker does not get hurt. That dude really never misses a snap, does he?
Yep.
It is. Yeah. He's as a consistent Iron Man as any. I will go on record saying I have never understood the need or the emphasis to try to replace Walker. I think it's because I'm such a cheapskate. We got him in the 7th round. I thought that the PFF grades don't necessarily jump off the page. And unless you look at the pass blocking grades in there, I would argue they actually do. This last year, like you said, obviously he's kind of working through some stuff. I think that grade will improve if he has the snaps. In my opinion, I feel like that we should be looking to improve the offensive line in other spots first. But I understand left tackle, you always want to try to have that be, if not the anchor, one of the best positions that you can count on that offensive line. I just am a sucker for him. I'll always kind of have his back just because, like I said, I'm a bargain bin guy. Getting him in the 7th round, the way that he likes to quote unquote finish players off is he just always holds near to my heart, man. The guy is
he can block.
Holmes says it's because you don't pay him. Exactly, dude. I'm telling you. But like you said, I mean, much like John Runyon, he's going to go somewhere and get the bag, and
he will. Yeah. I believe that. He's got the measurables. He's got a whole lot of tape out there, and I'm sure just like every other team that when they go to sign a free agent, hey, we can make them better, right?
Do you think it's possible that we still sign him, like Drew says here?
He says, Drew says it is certainly possible that we re-sign Walker for the right price. Yeah, and I try to put myself in their shoes, Drew. What would that contract look like, right? So if I'm Rasheed Walker and I've already rolled the dice, we're in week 7, you're already risking getting hurt, right? And now your value is probably going down every week based off how you're playing in the Packers' eyes. So if they have offered a contract, which to the best of my knowledge, we haven't got that confirmed yet. There were reports of it. If you guys have confirmation, let me know. It's just, what amount would you be willing to pay him?
Yeah.
And the other thing is, when you talk about the blueprint, when you're modeling the roster out, what lineman are you going to pay? You paid Zach Tom, right? You can get Elton Jenkins off the books next year if you want to. Okay. You paid Aaron Banks, which he can come off the books fairly early too, if you want to go that route, the way that's structured, much like Nate Hobbs. And of course, you got Jordan Morgan as a first round pick. So I think you're willing to pay 2 linemen top money, maybe 3. And as it sits right now, you basically got to make a decision, right? So if you're going to have to pay Rasheed Walker $20 million plus per year, I just can't get on board with it. I think Jordan Morgan can do what Rasheed Walker does at left tackle based off the few snaps we've seen him there. That's just me personally, and based off the college tape where he played left tackle. So
plus,
again,
you're going to need money in the budget for a center too, long term.
All right.
Yeah.
And last week we were singing the praises of Jordan Morgan, right? He graded out well at right guard, and you guys know I was very vocal going into that game that, hey, I feel like he's truly a left side of the line top offensive lineman. Well, here we are 1 game later, and he graded out bad, right? So, and again, there was no rotation there. Sean Ryan did not rotate to the best of my knowledge. So, 73, 41, 40, 67, 69, and 34 are Jordan Morgan's grades. So you're seeing he's been bad according to PFF just as much as he's been what we would consider good, right? So
I like what Fishy Things is saying here in the chat. If it comes down to it, I'm giving Quay a contract before Sheed.
And I think
that's a fair statement.
That's the type of conversations you got to have, right, Tim? Because you can't keep everybody. You got to kind of prioritize players. Like, you got a list of players whose contracts are running out. Okay, who's the top priority, right? And you guys know how I look at it by specific positions, right? Edge and 3 tech, and on defense, those are your top priorities. On offense, it's quarterback and tackle, right? And then you move on to tier 2, right? Tier 2 would be, Mike backer, stack backer, 1 stack backer. I'd be willing to pay top money to, and a post safety. And obviously those guys rotate a lot now, move up in the box in the spur position from time to time. And then on offense, the only tier 2 position I really have on offense is center. I feel like center is that important. I really do.
And I think if you look at the output, that you're getting from Quay as a middle linebacker versus, to your point, what you're getting with Rasheed Walker, not a knock on Rasheed Walker at all, but you got to feel like your first round draft pick, Jordan Morgan, can step into that role and continue to protect J Money's blind side. So I think that's why I would go with Fishy Things there. And I would probably take Quay over Sheed if it was down to those 2 who's getting a contract.
Yeah. And I see people in the chat saying they would keep Rasheed Walker. Like, I think that's, trying to think of who that was.
That's Chuck Jagger saying. Now he's the Bears sucker.
He's trying to mess with us. I'm keeping Walker. They're both Walkers.
Hey,
Quay and Sheed. So we got to clarify.
By the way, now we can't say his name because it's the. Yeah. Well, no, because we can. We have to be very careful.
I'm
Bears so faking much. Thanks for doing that, Chris or Chuck. Thanks a lot.
Over here,
can I pose a scenario to you? And obviously this would never be able to be realistic unless you had a crystal ball and you could understand. Do you think that it would have been smarter if about a year ago you see the writing on the wall that Sheed necessarily isn't going to be a top 3, left tackle, but you want him to maybe be in the team scenario for the next maybe 3 to 4 years. You offer him a team friendly deal, him as a 7th rounder, not quite ready to hit the market. You keep Elton at left guard. You extend Myers for a 2-year type prove it contract, and then you fluctuate with whatever you have at right guard. Obviously, Tom's Tom. Do you see us being in a better position if we decided to go that route rather than throwing a bunch of bank at Banks, throwing Elton to center, playing the musical chairs with the left guard and right guard positions?
For me, we don't know what Banks is yet.
Yeah.
Right. We know who Goody thinks he is. The contract says it, right? So Aaron Banks has been hurt this entire time, and he's trying to get everything going. I would argue this is the first game where you feel like, okay, he's fully healthy, right? This is a first game where you go in and go, okay, to the best of my knowledge, he was on the injury report, but I didn't go into this week going, Aaron Banks still a little banged up. So it's like, okay, what do we have? He graded out a 65. right? Pass blocking grade, that Goody's always going to prioritize that.
Is there any way, Clayton, are you able to bring up Josh Myers' current PFF grade as well as John Runyon's and just look at?
I can look it up on another screen here and tell you what it is for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Just because, I just am curious because as I'm sitting here talking out of my butt, maybe it was clearly the right move to move on from those guys. Drew D saying, I can't swallow the Myers pill. I understand it's a large pill. That is a horse pill to swallow. And I never thought I'd ever even be on the devil's advocate of making that argument. I'm just saying.
And nobody's going to badmouth Josh on this pod. We know that guy is a stand-up dude, a great teammate, but I'm with Drew D. I don't think that was the move. I really don't. I'm glad. I know what you're saying, Jacob, like putting Elton in as this plug and play kind of center because we know he can
just
handle
assuming
it.
That, he'd be.
And based on what we've seen thus far this year, I guess underwhelming would be the best way to sum it up, I guess, from a fan standpoint. But I certainly think if we rolled the dice again with old Josh, we'd be having a lot more podcasts talking about center play than we are.
J. Cole's talking about how the Jets line isn't good, and I believe Runyon, did he go to the Giants or the Philly? I can't or Giants.
Runyon went to the Giants, didn't he?
Yeah.
So I've got the grades for you. You ready for this, Jacob?
Yeesh.
So Elton Jenkins is a 59.9 on the year. Okay. Josh Myers is a 59.0.
Jeez. Okay.
Now, pass blocking grade, Elton is a 71.3. Josh Myers is a 56.3.
Gotcha.
Okay.
That's terrible.
Run blocking grade, Elton is a 58.2. Josh Myers is a 53.2. So every grade across the board, Elton Jenkins is significantly better than Josh Myers, right? And, okay, let's look at penalties. Josh Myers so far this year has committed 4 penalties. Elton Jenkins has only committed 2. So Elton's beating him in every category. However, when we let Josh Myers walk, and I don't even know if this was an option, but you guys will remember if you go back and watch the show, I said I think Myers is going to warrant pretty good money on the market because he's a very physical. He's got all the measurables and everything.
6'5", 300. Yeah.
So when he went for the minimum contract, like $1.5 million on 1 year, or maybe it's 1 year, $2 million, something like that, right? I was very vocal, like, damn, I would have loved to have had him back at that number.
For that, yeah.
And for a backup center, and who knows, maybe you can put him at guard because he's got the size. Sometimes centers don't have the size to play other positions.
And who knows if they did that, they might have kept Big E at left guard and gave him another contract when he wanted it.
Could have been, right? And here's the other thing, too. Josh Myers, though, might have looked at that minimum contract with the Packers and said, the hell with that, I ain't signing it. I don't want to come back. Right.
Yeah,
We don't know the entire story there. And who can blame him, right? Go get a fresh start somewhere else and know that you'll get a fair shake at it. Not that he didn't get a fair shake here. It just didn't work out. But yeah, to answer your question, Jacob, Elton Jenkins is definitely the better player, but we got to be fair and mention that Elton Jenkins get paid a lot more money than Josh Myers is. Right. So yeah. For the dollar amount, dollar for dollar, who would be the better value? It would probably be Josh Myers just because Elton's getting paid so much.
Yeah.
But, then again, I don't know, man. For Elton, I think you wanted that veteran presence, and I think he will get better as the season goes along. I do. Because he did. The other reality is he missed all of camp. He missed all off season, essentially, right? He kind of held out a little bit, whatever it may have been. So, all right. Well, there you go. There's your offensive side of things. Let's jump over to defense now.
Let's go. Micah Parsons, top of the list. That's why he's number 1, baby. Let's go.
92.6 PFF grade for Micah Parsons. His run defense grade. But Uncle Jerry said he can't play run defense. 77.4. Tackle grade of 74.9. He was on my notes for a couple run stops. I remember when I was starting the game yesterday. Pass rush grade, though, 92.8. He had 8 total pressures, 3 sacks. Parson having a hell of a game again, boys. And again, pointing out, he's in the blue, right, Drew?
Yep.
I don't mean to rhyme. I do it all the time. He's always in the blue.
He's in that Penn State blue, baby.
So his grade for the year, 66, 91, 82, 94, 78, 92. His grade on the season, obviously, a 93.3 right now. And it is official. This is the highest season grade that Micah Parsons has ever had. And here are his grades starting his rookie year. 89, 91, 92, 90, and this year with the Green Bay Packers, a 93.3.
Like a fine wine, baby, getting better with age. I love it.
Absolute dog, man. Again, he's one of those dudes too. Now, Jacob, we were a little concerned about snaps, right? This would be a good way to take a look at that. Micah Parsons had 54 snaps yesterday. Okay, let's look at the other edge defenders.
Gary had 47. Wow.
Yeah. So Micah played, what would that be? 7 more snaps than Gary. So he played the most of the edge defenders, right? So that's kind of cool there. It's just worth mentioning. I love the fact that Keyshawn Nixon and Xavier McKinney didn't come off the field all damn day. They were like, keep me out here. Love it. Didn't need to breathe.
Can I take number 2 on this list? I don't want to take any thunder away from Micah
Here,
Parsons. We
tell
all know the dog that Micah Parsons is, but if there was a 4th game ball for Coach LaFleur to give out yesterday, it would go to Colby Wooden. 86 defensive grade, 86.9 run defense grade, 72.1 tackle grade, 56 on the pass rush, 61 coverage grade. Mr. Colby Wooden, Mr. Bubble Guy that we were talking about, stepping the hell up in the absence of Heavy D, Devontae Wyatt. We needed Colby Wooden in this game, and he stepped up big time. We got to give him his props for sure.
42 snaps too, Tim.
Let's go.
He was that dude. He was
first guy on the cam in the tunnel after the game. We saw that at the top of the show. That was Colby Wooden getting it started for us.
Yes,
putting
sir.
up great numbers. Look at these last two ball games. Really,
3 out of the last 4.
I'm here for it, man. I can't say enough about Colby Wooden. Love it.
So his grades, Jacob, starting in week 1, 64, 64, 76, had a stinker in Dallas of 46, then rebounded right back with a 73, and then, like Tim said, an 86 this week. Got a grade on the year, 73.8. Is Colby Wooden earning a contract that we weren't talking about? Is that what's going on here?
Let's go.
I think so. I mean, like you said, those quote unquote, like the 60, that's not a bad day, right? 64 is not a bad day. 76 obviously is great. Look at that pass rush there with the 78-6 in the week 3 against Cleveland. And then obviously, like you said, the last 2 weeks have just been phenomenal, especially this last game. And
wasn't the Dallas game when, not to cut you off, but wasn't the Dallas game when we lost Devontae Wyatt?
It was.
Correct. Okay, so that might explain the low grade for him.
Thrown into the fire, right?
Yep, getting thrown into the fire, 23 snaps, or whatever that was. So
that's a great point.
Yep.
Great point there.
Agreed.
So, yeah, Colby Wooden, we'll see, man. But again, now, so he's got 1 more year left on his contract, right? Yeah. So he's under contract through 2026 because he's a draft pick, 4-year deal, right?
Yep.
So we don't have to make that decision until next offseason, right? That's awesome. For some reason, I was thinking it was the last year of his deal. So that's great news there. If he continues to peak and you get Devontae Wyatt back and Colby Wooden still playing like this, and you got Micah Parsons playing with his damn hair on fire, and Rashawn Gary continuing to do what he does, Kingsley Nibare, listen, he looked pissed off yesterday. He hit people a couple of times, and I went, Lord have mercy, that dude is mad. Yeah. Like you could tell he was pissed that he wasn't getting.
And Nibare is trying to remind people, like, hey, don't forget about me.
Yeah,
do not forget about me.
Well, now, it is his contract year, so he's playing for that football life, right? So
down the stretch here, guys. I mean, just imagine how our defense is playing right now, and let's just add back in again, Cox, add back in freaking LVN, back in Devontae Wyatt. I mean, that's scary. Devontae Wyatt was playing at a unbelievable level before the unfortunate injury kind of struck him down. And when he comes back, and if Wooden is stepping his game up, if Brooks can have some flashes here and there, guys got the young guys, Brinson and Stackhouse, and obviously everybody at the edge. Like, we are poised to make a freaking splash in the last part of this season.
I agree. I mean, that was the plan when we put Kenny in that deal to get Micah, right? And the plan was to put Devontae Wyatt in that position, and losing him to injury and seeing these guys step up in the meantime is exactly what we need. This team is playing together right now for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Next on the list, this guy right here, man. Boy, has he showed up here lately too. Isaiah McDuffie at 80.2 defensive grade, 72.9 run defense, tackle grade is 78.9. The coverage grade is what I'm most excited about.
Yeah, look at that.
8, man. So when you dive into it, let's see what kind of year he's having so far. Look at this, boy. There's a lot of green there. 55, 77, 72, 79, 71, 80. So his grade on the season,
great.
82.4.
What?
And listen, you're talking about 108 snaps too. Again, now keep in mind, he's mostly playing Sam backer in our base 4-3. That's when he's getting his reps, right? However, you get to playing that good, it might not just be a 4-3 thing. If somebody gets banged up, I feel comfortable with him coming in the way he's playing. Here's what's awesome. You guys remember he signed that very, very, very team-friendly deal,
Yep.
2-year extension. So we got him under contract next year as well. So
Huge.
That's awesome, dude. How about that, boys? So again, the PFF grades on the career is 60, 58, 57, 55, and then this year, bang, 82.4.
Look at the coverage grades, though. You're right, Clayton. That's the thing that jumps off the chart, right? Mm-hmm. We always knew Zay McDuffie was a run-stuffing dog and a thumper of a tackler and just a beast on special teams. But this coverage grade steadily improving is something I did not have on my bingo card. So tip your cap to Zay McDuffie. For sure.
Yeah, just a quick update in the Lions-Bucks game. Unfortunately, Jahmyr Gibbs just housed a 78-yard touchdown run in about 4 seconds, as the Turk McGarrett says. He shot out of a cannon there. So 14-0 Lions.
Hey, see, I'm looking at this game going, this can't go wrong for us. If the Lions win, then we've got the best record in the NFC. If the Lions lose, we get to make fun of Lions fans. We get a little breathing room in the North, So this is just one of those win-win situations. I love it, man. I love it. So, again, what I would like to see happen is the Lions get too confident right now and then have it smack them in the mouth here in a couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Like we've never seen Baker Mayfield come back from a 2-score deficit.
That's a great point. The game doesn't start for Baker until the second half. But, Isaiah McDuffie, man, hell of a year so far. That is awesome. Xavier McKinney, 77.9 PFF grade. That's the bounce-back game we're looking for, X. 54, 54, 70, 61, 66, and now a 77. So his PFF grade's up to a 67 now. And, again, throughout his career, 70, 75, 61, 87, 84, and up to a 67. I would be very, very, very surprised if X doesn't finish the year well into the mid or upper 70s at least, So, again, you're seeing him getting better for 3 weeks in a row, right? He graded out 70 in week 3 and then had a setback to 61, gets better again, 66, gets better again, 77. So, tackle grade is phenomenal, too. They've been playing him in the box a lot more than post safety because they know, they want to get him around the ball a little bit more is what it seems like to me. But,
and I think they have more confidence in Evan Williams now on the post. You can trust him back there.
Yeah.
Oof. Total yards right now, Detroit has 266 to the Tampa Bay's 36.
So that defense showed up to play today. Does that mean Tampa sucks all of a sudden, guys? Does that mean Baker Mayfield should be benched and Tampa's coaching staff should be fired? Is that what's going on?
Mayfield. Fire him.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
All right. Up next, this keeps happening. Von Bullard, 73.0 on 61 snaps. Run defense grade 79. Tackle grade 70. The coverage grade the coverage grade this week 67.1. That's kind of a rarity, right? Well, actually, look at there. Week 6
weeks in a row.
So 2 weeks in a row, he's putting it together, Tim.
Now we know why Nate Hobbs isn't going to the slot anytime soon.
I'm having a hard time with it too, man. I've seen all the Nate Hobbs slander. I get it. I understand. It's tough. And people are going, you can't sit him, you can't bench him because you paid him $50 million. You didn't pay him $50 million.
Right.
You paid him $16 million guaranteed, and you have an out this year. If they wanted to cut bait from Nate Hobbs after this year, I'm not saying they should, I'm just giving you the other side. If they want to move on from Nate Hobbs after this year, you free up $1 million in cap space. You basically eat that dead cap. You're going to come out $1 million ahead of his regularly scheduled cap hit for next year, and you can move on. So it was really like a 4-year deal. It was really a 1-year deal is essentially what it was. And who knows, he may ball out the rest of the year. To me, Tim, it feels like Nate Hobbs is a slot corner being forced to play outside. And it felt like
we have an outside corner waiting in the wings that needs snaps. And you talk about progress stoppers. It's not a knock on Nate Hobbs at all. It's just if there was one argument for a guy playing out of position in Green Bay, I think it's 2-1 right now. And it says more about Javon Bullard than it does really anyone else. It's the fact that Bull is playing the way he's playing in the slot. You can't pull him and start Hobbs over him based on what we've seen thus far, because you have a progress stopping situation there with another young player. So you're in a rock and a hard place right now.
I think that was their reaction, knowing they were moving on from Jair Alexander. It's like, hey, we got to get another body in here. We got to get somebody of veteran presence. And I still don't think it was a bad signing. I don't. Right.
Yeah.
Because if you don't sign Nate Hobbs and Carrington's starting and Carrington goes down, who's your outside corner?
Bowman.
Right. Yeah. So it's like, that's a lot tougher to handle there. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about Bullard, though, man. Bullard, I think, is starting to turn the corner a little bit.
He might be turning that corner right now as we speak.
He plays with this level of intensity too. Like, I know he's not great in coverage. I get it. But man, when the ball is around him underneath or on a running play, I would trust him about over anyone attacking the football.
Him and Evan just are sharks.
And
epitomize the human meatness.
Grade's coming up, right? He might not be great, but he's leaning towards decent.
Yeah,
these last couple of weeks. So if he makes that a strong attribute of his game, he's really got a bright future ahead of him.
Yeah. So another player, we just got through talking about Kobe Wooden with an 86.0. Another player helping fill in for our boy Devontae Wyatt while he's out with the injury is Carl Brooks. He showed up yesterday, man, 70.8 with a 73.1 run defense grade. A tackle grade was horrible at a 29.9. Pass rush was sitting at a 61.7. But again, overall, he ended up logging a 70.8. So he's at a 56.7 on the year. He's one of these players that's kind of went backwards in terms of PFF grades throughout his career, which is really strange. It seemed like he fit the Joe Barry scheme a lot better in that 34 front as opposed to a 4-3 front. Yeah. However, yesterday, pretty damn good ball game there from Carl Brooks. I don't see no reason to spend a whole lot of time there. But you guys got anything you want to add to that?
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate what he's done. I think that he's been a great cog in our machine. I don't necessarily know if he's going to get extended kind of thing. I don't know if he's played that well, but what it was kind of him and Wooden, I kind of both hold as almost the same player, where it's like, I just want one of these two to make a play, once every couple of weeks. And I feel confident about that's like just great backups. And I don't mean that as an insult whatsoever. Like I would think that guys like Wyatt would be kind of our frontier, and they'd be more of like the guys kind of in the background that hopefully every now and then they could play. I really liked Carl Brooks's potential coming out. Wasn't it Bowling Green? Is that where he was from? Something like that. Smaller school where he played a lot of D end.
Yeah.
Shuffled all around that line. I'd like to see him maybe use a little more like that, but when we have the edge room, we can't really ask for them to cut into those guys' snaps,
We got an injury that just occurred here in the Lions and the Buccaneers game, trying to see exactly what happened. It looked like Mike Evans was on the ground.
Say that.
Yeah, I'm trying to get
it's a head injury. His head bounced off the turf real bad. It took a while getting up. He is up, walked off on his own power. I think he's in concussion protocol.
He'll be in the protocol.
Yeah, so he's done for the evening probably.
Talk about first ballot Hall of Famers.
Man, that dude, I could not believe it when they read off his stats one night. I was like, there ain't no way.
Mama, there goes that man.
I'm telling you. Oh, here we go. Deep shot. Okay, that was the player right there. Oh, man, he had it too, didn't he, Jacob?
Yeah, he actually, his arms go limp. That's what's a little scary is he secured the catch, but his arms just physically released that ball as he's turning over.
Yeah, he was laying out for a diving catch, and he looked like he had it too. He just got knocked unconscious when he hit the turf. So, again, the Lions still leading 14-0 on mine. About 3 minutes left in that ball game. So, moving along here. So, we talked about Carl Brooks. Kingsley Nagbari is 64.1. Pretty solid performance for him. Rashawn Gary is 63.5. So, on the year, PFF has not been too fond of Rashawn Gary, who leads the Packers in sacks and run stops at the defensive line position. I don't know how that works, but 63, 60, 72, 71, 68, 63. So, his grade on the year is a 70.3. Obviously, it's not bad, right? But what you're seeing is a steady decline in terms of PFF for Rashawn Gary. Starting back in 2021, 89, 82, 79, 73, 70 now on the young year, okay? Now, obviously, that 73.0 made the Pro Bowl last year. He led all edge defenders in run stops. I looked at that 73 grade last year and was like, they don't know what the hell they're looking at. That must be an Uber driver grade in that tape because that dude was dominant in the run game, right? So with that being said, are we concerned about Gary? And I want to mention this about Rashawn Gary. You guys know I'm a big supporter of Rashawn Gary. I feel like he has been very underrated from the fan base, extremely underrated from the sports media geared around Green Bay. However, there's going to be a decision that has to be made next year, right? on that cap hit because his cap hit's going to jump a little bit. The guaranteed money is the majority of it's gone. You can restructure. You can cut the salary cap hit down and give him a little more guaranteed money if you want to keep him.
Yes,
But
let's do that.
it's looking like he's on the decline if you just looked at PFF. Okay, if you just looked at that, right? Now, Tim, we know they like to get rid of players 1 year earlier rather than 1 year too late, right? He's going to be 28 years old by the end of this season. So going into next year, he's going to be 29. It feels like there'll be a restructure next year. And maybe you'll tack on a couple avoidable years where you got the skeleton of a contract where you can kind of, all right, you can extend him if you want to. But definitely got to lower that cap number. I don't know what the exact number is. I can look it up real quick. But I want to get your all's take on Gary. Do you think – and I see the super chat there, Jerry. We'll hit that in just 1 second, okay? Do you think Rashawn Gary's best football is behind him, or do you think he's going to rebound? What do y'all think about that?
I'm not betting against Rashawn Gary ever. So I would say, yeah, he's going to rebound or stay steady Eddie. I would like to see him retire a Green Bay Packer. I think you're right. The cap number's got to come down. I think a restructure is a no-brainer. And I don't think Rashawn would scoff at that either. You know, I think we can make this benefit him and the Packers and keep him here, you know, beyond 30. You know, we talk about dirty 30, whatever you want to call it. I believe in the tangible things we see on the field and the intangibles that he does, you know, on and off the field. We talked about leadership in this locker room. We got a young team here, guys, still a very young team. That's the type of veteran leadership you want to have in your locker room. I'm not going to bet against Rashawn. I would think that he'll either bounce back or continue to do what he does and you know, be a valuable member of this team for the next at least 3 seasons. I would like to see him stay. That's my opinion.
All right, Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, to Tim's point, that dirty 30, but that's 2 years out. He's 27.8 years old. So even if he comes in this time, I think we got a couple good years. I would love to see some sort of restructure, an extension that gets us with him at least until he's 31. I've seen the motor on that guy. You've seen the emotional intelligence that he has, that he plays with, that passion, that fire. To him, I believe that football is not just a job. I think that it's his actual passion in life, that he is dedicated his everything to. His family is a part of it. His you know, the way that he's embraced this community. He's the type of guy I want to offer a third contract to and bring him back and, like you said, solidify him in that Hall of Fame. Yeah. Packers Hall of Fame at least.
And when you look at his contract, this year his cap hits $25.7 million. All right. Next year he turns 29. His cap hit jumps only a little less than $3 million. So it's not much of a jump at all. It kind of feels like they would keep him under this number at a $28 million cap hit. But the number you want to focus on is the dead cap. All right. Dead cap attached to $17 million. So essentially you can free up $11 million if you move on from him before the 2026 season. If you keep him under contract at that $28 million, the cap hit jumps to $31 million in 2027, where his dead cap is only 8.5. So when he turns 30 years old, you could cut bait and free up roughly $21 million in cap space. So I think there's a decent chance he returns next year. I hope he does. I just feel like it's not unrealistic to have that conversation right now. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you're getting fair to that point, unfortunately. It sucks. Yeah. I hope he turns into our boy that came from Chicago. Was his name Julius Peters? Is that his name?
Julius Peppers, man.
Dude, I hope he turns into that and plays till he's 70. You know what I mean? But the reality is Rashawn Gary plays a little bit different game than Peppers did, right? And Peppers had a freak body. Gary, man, he's smashing skulls every single play. You know, he plays with that power rush and obviously jamming his forehead into another man's forehead. So, 52 deserves to retire as a Packer. They need to let somebody, says Packed for. Understand that. All right.
Just real quick update in the Bucks Lions game. The Bucks just fumbled it once again. The Lions take over with good position. It's looking a little 2 minutes left just now in the second quarter. We got the 2-minute warning.
Gotcha. So losing a turnover battle and losing it in the middle late there too. That sucks. Which, by the way, Rashawn Gary strip sacked last night or yesterday, I should say. Came in the middle late and it was our only turnover. Like it's single-handedly probably the most important play of the day for sure for Rashawn Gary. Jerry with the super chat. Thank you so much, Jerry. Why haven't we seen any Bo Melton in the corner position? I said this when we were in camp, Jerry, kind of felt like it was his last shot to make the roster, was to see if he could make corner work. And I know the buzz really took off and everybody got really excited about Bo Melton contributing at the cornerback position. I remember the national sports media were making it sound like this is Jair's replacement. I don't think that was ever the plan, right? I think it was, you want to keep him for special teams. The wide receiver room is overcrowded now. Let's see if he can play some corner too, and let's prep him for that, right? Let's see if he made the list. So he didn't play any snaps yesterday, right? No, but he was suited up against his brothers. So, no grade there from him. So
we might have more offensive snaps out of Bo than
I think so
at this point.
Yeah, I think you're right, because she was definitely asking about the corner position. But yeah, I think it was just more along cross training him and trying to have an extra body there in the cornerback room because the wide receiver room got so stacked. I think it was a good move. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's a bad move, but I just don't think it was ever in the cards like, hey, this guy's going to be a key contributor at corner. I think it's going to be on special teams. I really like him as a returner.
I was just going to say, I think that he's maybe found his niche at this point of his, or at least in this season, as a really good returner. I like him.
I like it. Anything to keep Matthew Golden from back there returning.
Exactly. And Dobby. Don't put Dobby back there.
Yeah.
All right, we're over on time, so we got to wrap up pretty soon. I want to hit on Quay a little bit. Tim, we talked about this, right? We expected PFF to be down on him, even though we felt like he had a good day. So his PFF grade yesterday was a 58.6. All right. His run defense grade was a 28.6, but his tackle grade was an 81.5. His pass rush grade was a 91.6. That's tough, right? Like, is that 28.6 hurting him that bad? Did he have any penalties?
I'm trying to remember.
I don't remember any on him. Good Lord.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
I don't know. We're still going here. I don't see any penalties. Do you?
No.
So they don't have it.
Maybe the chat can help us. I don't think there were any flags on Quay. And then I know he caught that shot, was a little shaken up, missed a few plays. Shout out to Tyron Hopper for stepping in and filling the void. But
I thought he looked cool too, man. I forget about Hopper.
Hopper looked good in the limited reps we saw, but to see
they said he was worse than Quay.
Yeah, he only played 3 snaps, right?
Yeah, 3 snaps, yeah.
And how many did Quay play? What was his snap total? Well, in the 50s, right?
Oh yeah, should have been. Let's see here.
68. Okay, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, and he grades at a 58.6. Yeah, PFF has beef with Quay Walker, and I don't know why. I thought that was arguably his best game as a Green Bay Packer, what we saw yesterday out there.
Agree.
Absolute dog. And you guys know I stand for Quay, so I'm not gonna say anything else.
Got it. All right. So there you go, guys. There is your. Well, let's look at Nate Hobbs. I think we would all agree this kind of looked like it yesterday, right? 47.9 was his grade. His coverage grade was a 42.1. I'm excited to look at the all 22 as soon as it drops because there was a couple times it looked like he got beat. But I also want to see, did somebody else lose their leverage? Was it some kind of a match coverage and he was just in a bad spot? At the first glance on the TV copy, it looked, I don't remember seeing a play where like, well, that wasn't on Nate. It did kind of feel like he was playing out there on skates on the boundary. So his run defense grade, no surprise there, 73.9, but that coverage grade of 42.1, that ain't going to get it done, man. So we'll see how that goes moving forward. His season grades now start coming in. His best year was his rookie year at 80, 60, 69, 61. He's sitting at a 59 right now. J. Cole said illegal hands to the face.
That's the one penalty. Yep.
Yeah. Just quick update. Lions just missed a 50-plus yard field goal, giving the Bucs back the ball with good field position with 1:52 left in the second.
All right. Let's give you a little play-by-play here. Got Baker in the gun. I'm probably a little bit behind y'all, right? Trips left. Look, he going to load it up. Oh, he started to load it up. Now he's going to check it down and get his guy drilled. Oh, is that an interception?
Oh, you got
it. Tie goes to the receiver. Do this to me, right? Which, by the way, we got to end it with this. I hope right. This is going to be worth.
I think he might have got that ball.
Oh, they gave it to the offense.
Yeah, the tie always goes to the offense. We learned that the tough way, right? Remember the Fel Mary?
I think they're going to review this.
All right, you ready for this, boys? Tim, your boy, this dirtbag Brad Allen, back at it again. Did you see this right here? Did you see this?
I heard about this.
Right, so
what happened though?
Mike Garafolo. I'm just going to play it one time, and then we're going to cut it off. Mike Garafolo said Broncos linebacker Dre Greenlaw has been suspended by the NFL 1 game for his action here towards referee Brad Allen after the team's game-winning field goal. So they kick a game-winning field goal. All right, you're going to see the field goal. It goes through. It's good. Everybody's celebrating. That knucklehead Brad Allen is literally – did you see him just now? Look in the middle of this pile. Watch everybody come in. Look at Brad Allen right in the middle of it. Watch. Look like you're on his shoulders almost, right? So, look, it keeps going. Now, Brad Allen walks out, and look at Dre Greenlaw. What's he yelling at him? You see him?
Because Brad Allen shoved a Broncos player. Roll that back. You could see when he was in there, he put his hands on a Broncos player, shoved him out of the way. Watch. Right.
Oh, yeah, he did.
The right hand. So that's
40.
Greenlaw had beef with.
Yeah. So you see here, Greenlaw runs him down, right? And look, he throws a flag. Game's over.
End of the game, you loser.
So now there may be
Greenlaw gets suspended. Are they going to suspend Brad Allen for making contact with a player?
They don't suspend dirtbags, unfortunately. But if you scroll down here, the comments were on fire, man. Look, the little referee threw his flag on him. We have a serious referee problem in the NFL, right? Did that ref throw a flag post game? This man threw a flag 8 seconds after the game was over. Man, I cannot stand Brad Allen. So, yeah, there you go. So,
that dude goes to the grocery store, and if somebody cuts him off, he'll throw a flag.
Yeah, exactly.
This ain't real life, Brad.
So, anyway, I think you're right, Tim. It did look like he got pissed that he put his hands on him. And you know what it reminded me of, honestly, was the Quay Walker situation. Everybody bashes Quay because he pushed that trainer, but they forget there was a scrum. The trainer comes in, grabs Quay by the back of the jersey, and pulls him off. And he probably immediately thinks it's a player. So he get off me, right?
Or he probably just responded like any other grown man would if you put your hands on him. He's going to react to it, right?
They reversed the call. It's an interception.
Unbelievable. That's some Detroit home field cooking right there, baby. It did look like he had two hands on it.
Yeah.
The other guy had one. But, yeah, I was hoping the tie would go to the receiver. Wasn't really a tie, though. Anyway. All right, that's it, guys. We're going to get out of here. I'm going to go downstairs and get chewed out by the wife. And, we're going over again. But anything else you guys want to hit on before we get out of here? Anything at all? Tim, you want to mention the charity that we're raising money for here, man? This is exciting stuff.
Yeah, we've got a little less than 2 weeks left here, guys. OperationHorsesHeal.org. We're doing big things. We partnered up with them to help our veterans and their family members, as well as active duty servicemen and women out there. Operation Horses Heal. We're trying to raise money to get them a truck and a trailer so they can bring these equine therapy, horse-assisted programs to veterans directly. They have the space right now in Westboro, Wisconsin, where veterans can go on their own self-guided wellness journey. But really, we want to hit that 30K mark to help them get a truck and a trailer so they can bring the horses directly to the veterans and their families. So each donation at operationhorsesheal.org/how can I help is an entry to win an autographed Romeo Doubs white away jersey. I believe Clayton's got hooked up for us. You can also scan the QR code in the upper right hand of your screen or go to operationhorsesheal.org to make your donation. The drawing is going to be, I believe, first week in November. You've got until October 31st, Halloween, to get your donations in for your chance to win that Romeo Doubs jersey.
Yeah, get your name entered in before you turn into a pumpkin there on 31st.
Before you turn into a Brad Allen.
Oh. There you go. Really, really excited, though, about partnering up with them. Excited to do stuff with them in the future. And, again, if you don't have any funds to donate to a good cause like this, hey, spread the word with the website, operationhorsesheal.org, and just get them some traffic over there. And anybody you know that's passionate about helping veterans and great causes geared around that, just let them know. So that being said, we're out of here. Jacob, you got anything else, man? Anything smart you want to say to the people before we wrap up?
Never got nothing smart to say, Clayton. I will say that Drew D seconds what Tim just said. He says, I know people that have had equine therapy, worked amazingly for them. So great cause there. Absolutely awesome.
Yep. Appreciate that. Thanks, Drew.
All right, guys, that's it. We're out of here. Appreciate y'all. We will be back tomorrow, 6 p.m. Central for PTA Live. The goal tomorrow will be we'll look at the updated rankings and see exactly where the Packers sit in all the important statistical categories. I'll start to get Chalk Talk together. It'll probably be Wednesday when we do Chalk Talk, and then Thursday we're on to the Steelers, baby. We're jumping into the game plan there and start talking about all that. We'll also have you guys an injury report coming up Wednesday, the first injury report of the week. So excited about that. If y'all would hit that. That won't do crack. Thank you, Dave. Wise words there for sure. So just make sure you hit like for us, hit subscribe, and click that bell icon so you're notified when we go live in the future. But we appreciate y'all. As always, let's go out and be the change we want to see in the world and go back.
Here we go. We out. Bye, guys.